Too early. Jump the gun.
We're getting closer. Hey, everybody. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the No Control Zone. And we're going back-to-back weeks with a podcast here. Unfortunately, we had another guest member that was supposed to be with us tonight. Torrin was supposed to be with us, but he had to cancel due to something happened with his mother tonight. So he's taking care of her family first, of course. However, I'm lucky enough to be joined by my co-commish, Mr. Ryan Kelly of the Lincoln Salt Dogs. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
Oh, it's a fine night in North Bay. Good time in Ontario. Raining, plus 4 degrees.
Raining.
Can't complain. Yeah, raining.
Don't you guys still have a ton of snow?
Lots of snow.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's going to go to minus 11 tomorrow, though. So
Oh no,
15 degrees.
that's going to be
Up and
ugly.
down. It is gonna be ugly.
Yep. And of course, once again, we got Keith Salter from the Macaulay Mustangs with us. How you doing, Keith?
Not bad. Having
That's it.
fun, living life,
Good.
enjoying
Sounds
the
good.
hockey pool.
How's the health?
Sorry?
How's the health? Your health?
Yeah, like I just had another CT scan Saturday, so I go see the specialist next Monday, and I got to get some blood work either tomorrow or Friday. But you know what? I'm still kicking around, and I ain't fucking planning on leaving anytime soon.
Us
Damn
getting
straight,
old.
Keith.
All of us getting older, we talk about our ailments now. That's one thing we do. All right, so basically tonight what we're going to do is we're kind of going to go off the same format that we went off last week. We're not going to recap what actually happened this week. We are going to talk about what happened this week, but we're not going to go through how I did it last year and that. We're just going to kind of wing it here and talk about who's still in the action, who we think has got the better possibilities. I'm sure Ryan has games left to play from the important teams, or he'll get on that during the podcast or something. But anyway, a pretty exciting week, guys. A lot happened. We had a lot of trades. We had some movement. We may have had one person bow out of the playoff race. Where do you want to start, Ryan?
Let's go with the people who bowed out. I think Dan definitely bowed out, right?
It was a tough week.
He was tough week. He was playing Brewers and he was playing somebody else, and I think he lost to the Brewers, and then he just figured that was it. He couldn't catch him. And then Al had a tough week. He was playing me and he was playing somebody else, and he went 0-2, and he was already 2 back. So by that time, Al lost 2 games and he was done.
Yeah, he started.
And then the trade market opens up with those two. So that's always
I
exciting.
played Dan last week and took him.
Oh, you beat him up too? So, okay,
yeah, I know he went
I
0-2 for sure.
up, but
That was no, Dan fell behind early, and he actually probably was playing from about week 5 or whatever. He's probably playing better than some of the teams above him.
Yeah.
Because he actually caught up and he got right behind them and just could never get over that hump. Yeah. And then losing the 2 this week really
yeah, he had a slow start. I don't know why he had such a slow start. I don't know, maybe the goalies, but he figured it out a quarter way through, and then just wasn't enough. Sometimes that slow starts kill you.
Yeah, I noticed he put in still his strongest lineup, so he's still trying, even though he made the trade and whatnot. And what was Dan's trade again? Was that with you, Keith?
Who did they? Oh, he traded. No, he traded with.
He traded
Donald,
to Bo.
right, Keith?
He traded to Bo. He traded Ovechkin to Bo.
No,
That's right.
Donald.
Hold on a second, I got him right here.
It was Donald.
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah. It was. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. It was a prospect, Wyatt Johnston, the 4th for Ovechkin, and a 7th. And now Ovechkin's mourning the loss of his father, and not in Donald's lineup.
Well, not for this week for sure, but I think the important part is for him to be there for the playoffs, and he'll be there for the playoffs for sure. So I can only see him taking a week to 10 days on this. That seems to be the normal funeral thing. Back in the day, like in the 60s and 70s, you didn't go.
No, you didn't. Yeah, it was a different time. It's
different time. You didn't go.
Oh, you're dead? Oh, I gotta go play 2 games. I
Yeah.
gotta go back to back.
Well, and the funny part about it is the family expected that.
Yeah.
You know, that was no big deal. It's like, you can't make it. He's in
Yeah.
the NHL. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the way it was. Now they got all these PA rights and everything going on. So, hey, how about this one to talk about for the week when talking about teams that bowed out, but a team that's trying to make a move, losing to Pitter Patter, who went 2-0, 2-0. Steve Grant, 2-0,
I
taking
know.
down the Lakers.
Well, that's good for the pool, though, right? Like
Shocker. It was
it slows down guys that are actually trying to pull away from the rest of the crowd, and in that situation, it kind of give the Gators the upper hand. You know, like
I don't know, man. Renee's been hot. Hot.
I know, but I don't think he's only going to have 6 games left to try to catch him, and I think 4 points over 6 games tough.
Well,
It's a
that's what
lot.
I'm saying. Like, if he had won that game, though, he wouldn't be 4 points behind, would he?
No.
No.
Right.
no,
It'd only be 2
no.
points behind. He was
But it gives
definitely
the Gators a bit of a breathing room, whereas you know,
absolutely.
I doubt anybody catches him at this
Absolutely.
stage now. It's the same as Ryan.
However,
Don't be saying that, Keith. You got a very good shot at catching me. Don't put that reverse jinx on me.
trying the old
I got a
reverse
tough
psychology.
schedule, though. Come on, man. Fuck.
You got a good
Tough schedule doesn't always guarantee anything, right?
No, for sure, no. But you got those goaltenders, and you made that nice trade. We'll talk about that later. But you made a nice trade with.
Yeah.
That was a good trade.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was for sure.
But anyway, Renee losing actually, like I say, it's good for the pool because it keeps. Like I looked at that division today, and I could honestly see that there's a possibility that if Renee was to have a tough week again this week, I could see guys leapfrogging them.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
especially the guys behind, right? You know,
Yeah.
you got 5 teams in that division that are, you know,
Well,
pretty strong, and they don't seem to be losing. And if they lose, they make sure they win the other one, and so it's keeping them all close. And I mean, as it stands now, I really think that the Gators and the Bruins, they've got their playoff spots.
who?
Still looking for seedings.
Gators and the who? I know you just
The
can't
Bruins.
stop thinking of him as the Bruins, but he's not the Bruins.
Oh, so never mind. Yeah, okay. Well, he's still the Bruins. I mean, that's just like me
That
trying
is
to
true.
be a troll, right?
I'm a Bruin.
I screw that up all the time. He was the longest named franchise, so he
Yeah.
was. It's
No,
hard
okay,
to
poor
get
Elgin.
over,
You know,
ruin up some suds, but no, Lincoln Salt Dogs now. I like the color scheme and everything of the Salt Dogs, and I like the logo too.
Yeah, I really like it too. I was surprised when I found it. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. And then kind of worked, and then I showed
Yeah.
it to you there, like
Yeah.
what, back in September. And
I just I want to get back to Dan here for a second. I just want to talk to you a little bit about him. I'm just going to ask you how you guys felt, because I took a look at Dan's team at the start of the year, and I knew that he was going to be fighting for the 4th spot. But if you go back the 2 years and you look at all the teams that went from worst to first, like the 3 of us in this podcast right now, and Blake doing it, and Dan ended up being the one not to do it. Yet he decided to keep the asset of Ovechkin last year in that. And by looking at his team, do you think he might have made a mistake by not going for the 2-year rebuild? Because what I see happening now is, yeah, he's still going to get a good draft pick, and he might, not guaranteed, might get 5th overall pick, right? And if he doesn't get 5th overall pick in that, he's in the worst spot you can possibly be in that part of the drafting area. So did Dan make a mistake? Or I know Renee's answer would be no, you go for it every year.
well, yeah, you can go for every year, and I kind of agree with that too. But and you know, it's also like looking back, hindsight's 2020. If he was in making the playoffs, then we wouldn't be talking about this. But he's not making the playoffs, so now it's a conversation piece. And did he make a mistake? I don't think so. I think he want to go for it. I think Dan's mentality is that he wants to go for it every year. Although I think he has I think he's tanked kind of twice now, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
But last time it was very successful because he
Yeah.
went straight to the top, and he probably should have won the next year. So he has done it on a 1 year. You did it on a 1 year. Keith, yours was 1 or 2
I was the same year. I was the same as you guys. The difference was you guys were at the top last year, whereas I was where Dan essentially is now. I couldn't get out of that 7 to 10 slot, right?
That's true.
So you
So
guys,
you made it.
did the re 1 year, and it took me 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took me two. It took me two to get my team together too. For
Oh,
sure.
did it?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah, remember
remember
Ryan? I
the-
remember on the podcast, Ryan asked me if I was ever going to be competitive again. He goes, "Are you ever going to actually try?" And I've got that on tape. Well, whatever it is, internet
I said,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Um,
it's a tough call, but that's the call in between making like, how patient are you? See, I find myself being an older person really patient.
Yeah.
I can be patient, where as a younger Terry, I wasn't so patient. I want to make everything happen now, right? Where I'm older now, I see it. I'm not going to win. What's the point anyway if I'm not going to win? So I'm going to get a really solid team.
But it would have been if you look, like, it's all again hindsight. Right? If you look back, like, who does he make the trade to? What does he get for Ovechkin? Like, does it matter? Like, it's too much to really. I know it's nice to go back and like look back and say what if this and what if that. But say he trades it to, like, he would have traded to one who's up in like the top 8. So that pick last year still would have been great, right? Like, because what'd you get? You got Marchand at 16th.
16th.
So I mean, if you think about that, then maybe a bit of a more of a, like, not a mistake, just a, because you can't really call it a mistake. You can just call it a, I don't know, misstep.
All I'm saying is you can get a lot more out of an Ovechkin
He-
2-year contract than a 2-week contract. Because
Yeah.
that's basically what you're trading him for right now. It's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
In the
3 weeks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he could
What
have
do you
got.
say, Keith?
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
I think that he kept on. I tried trading with him last year, and my recollection is telling me that he kept those guys because he wanted to make sure he secured the first overall pick.
Yes.
And then, as far as this year goes, I don't know where he's at it. Like, I know that he moved to Ovechkin already, and he's probably got a couple more guys, but I think he's a more reserved kind of guy where he tries to keep as strong as where as he can. And if he wants that 5th pick, I think that the best thing for him to do is to keep the players that he's got. But you're right. Like Ryan, when you said that Terry ended up getting Marchand 16th, I mean, you get Marchand for 5 years, and you give up Ovechkin for 2 weeks, 6 weeks, or whatever it might be, and 1 year. You might have to. It's asset management. I think it's most of us veteran guys get it. Like, there's times that you don't want to move guys, but sometimes you just have to, because the logistics of it, you look at it and you go, what's best? Allmark in my lineup and not winning, and or Allmark on somebody else's team and me having that pick next year. That's how I would look at it.
Yep.
Right. You got a high octane guys and you're not getting anything for them. I think it slows down your rebuild too.
However, Dan is going to be in the playoffs next year, I would say.
Yeah, but then so there you go.
Oh,
If he's in the
yeah.
playoffs next year, then
I'm
I
just
think
saying he could have
the
got
only
some
thing
more
you lost
star
is-
power to go with McDavid. He could have got, you know what I mean, by getting that higher pick to go with McDavid would have been so much better, but he's still going to be fine. So anyway, we're talking too much about a guy who's given up here. So let's move on to somebody else here. Let's talk about Dono for a bit with the East Coast Brewers. He has been such a roller coaster. Has anybody noticed his season?
Yeah.
It's been like all of a sudden unbeatable. And then all of a sudden he just shits the bed. And then unbeatable, and then shits the bed. And
I think Keith was talking about that like last podcast, weren't you, Keith? You're talking about how, like, you thought he was dipping, and then now, like, his team's turned around again and he's back to being strong. So it's like,
yeah,
which team is he?
Tough schedule this week though.
Yeah. But this was a weird one, right? This was a weird schedule. This was the one with the All-Star break. And unfortunately for us, it worked out absolutely perfect, because basically the week that we just went through on the CBS site was 2 weeks. And I combined it into one. And it pretty much evened out most of the games, but there was like it all depended on how it worked out. Some teams actually only played 2 games.
Yeah, no, 2
'cause of
weeks.
the All-Star break. In
Some had
2
4.
weeks. Yeah. So it was weird. I wouldn't judge a lot off of this week about what's going on just for that reason. It was just a very odd schedule. Like a good example is you take a look at the Gators and why their point totals were down with Toronto. Didn't play.
Did he, what, last week? Didn't he still get like 40 plus points?
Yeah, but he was way down there for most of the week. And
Yeah.
then Toronto returned
Yeah.
and he got a couple games in from Toronto.
He's got a dangerous team, that guy. Jesus.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
Matthews is back now.
what's that? Yeah, he is.
Matthews is back now.
Scored a goal at least.
So
All right. What about tell you, man?
Well,
this-
let's stay with Dono. Like,
Oh, yeah.
what'd you say about, you had opinion on him last time there, Keith? Like you thought he was kind of slipping, right? Do you still feel like he's gonna, like, what do you think about his team right now?
I think he's got the right team. I think is what's really happening is because the closeness of everybody. It's coming down to the scheduling. I mean, he's got a tough week this week, and he's playing guys that are, I believe, that are right in there with him. And
Who's he playing? Do you know? I can't remember who he's playing.
yeah,
Is he playing Terry?
the guys I think that are more likely, like we know that Dean and we know that Al are both going to be down there in that 5-8 bracket, and so then you get West Coast, and then you get the Brewers, and you got Flying Colors, and then I think there's one more team in there, and they're all fighting for 2 spots. And when you see them in their matchups against each other, you're going, okay, this is heavyweight. This is going to really determine who's going to win what and what positions we're going to finish in divisions, right?
Oh,
So I think he makes it. I think you're right, Ryan. I think he makes it, but man, like it's gonna come down to the last week. And like I said, it's I have to play him on the very last week 20. I think I play him, or next week, and I don't want him beating me, to be honest. Like I want to push him down.
Yeah.
He's
You got his
got a
first
good
round-
offense, and
You have his first round draft pick, Keith?
yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I
I
do.
can send it right there for you then.
So if he was to drop down,
You wouldn't hate it.
he's still capable of winning that 5th pick because everybody else is trading their players, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I think the exciting thing is that because of where the trade deadline is and week 20 is, I think that's going to really help, because you could see a couple of game changers happen around that time in terms of trades.
Yeah.
Like
Heck,
the Gators and Renee both have all their picks. These guys have not really done anything to improve themselves from the start of the season, and man, they've still got assets to use. And like if you don't know which one of those teams is going to drop down, but by week 20, somebody might say, "Fuck, okay, I guess I should play for next year."
yeah.
And
Well,
one of
that's
those
what happened
teams
this
is
week. That's what happened with Al and
I like his chance because the
Colorado.
division that he's in. The division that he's in, I think, helps him.
You think so? Really?
Well, think about it. Like Torrin is the only one in our division, and he's not guaranteed anything. Neither is Bo, and neither am I really. I mean, we still got to win our games, but we're in better point totals. We're being chased still. So Torrin could miss out, and if Torrin misses out, well then I think you guys send 5 guys to that division and to the playoffs, and if it's all 3 of them, then that's good for everything except for the Gators, I guess.
Yeah.
They're playing somebody that is chasing all season long and is in his own division, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but as far as the Brewers go, Ryan, I think that he's strong enough to do it.
I agree. I think he is very strong, and it just depends. Like if I don't know how he has the bad weeks that he does. I don't know what he loses in those categories. Like I don't know. because his team is even his defense. He's bolstered his defense, his goaltending. Jerry, who's hurt, but then you got Hart and you got Freddie Anderson. I don't see too many holes in that lineup, and I just don't. When he loses, and he loses badly sometimes, I'm just scratch my head. And then like this last week, he just dominated. And I think is he playing you this week, Terry? Like,
No,
I can't.
not me.
No?
No.
He's playing
playing
Terry
you?
this week, I think.
What's that?
He's
Who am
playing
I
Terry
playing?
this week.
I'm playing the Scurvy and I'm playing Flying Colors.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
So-
yeah,
That's a tough week
Donald's
for
got
me.
Donald's got the Lakers,
that's
and
right. That's a
where
tough
is he?
one.
And the Rangers. So he could go. He should go 1-on-1 there with the possibility of beating Renee too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that.
He goes over
Yeah,
two
he's up
then.
on 6 on Renee right now. So
Yeah. Sweet.
Well,
you
how
know, like
about
that's why it's exciting, because you look at that and you go, okay, he's actually chasing Renee, and Renee's actually trying to chase for first. And now you all of a sudden you see those setups and you go, Jesus Christ, who's the schedule maker? Because they sure made it right.
yeah,
You
no
did.
doubt.
Did you make it, or is that just luck of the draw?
That's just shit ass luck, man. That was CBS. That was CBS. The only thing I did, it changed because I added those 2 weeks together.
Combine the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which changed some of the back games, which are
Yeah.
these games. So whatever happened there, it worked out good. Maybe the site saw who is coming down to, and they said, "Hey, let's put these guys together, man. Let's do it."
Yeah, it's caused some mayhem and some chaos in the last 3 weeks for everybody, and just because we might not know until like the last week
Yeah,
who's like because nobody is locked into playoff spot yet.
No.
Maybe Gators.
You
maybe?
are. You
No,
are.
I'm not yet. I'm only up about 5 games on Torrin, and there's 6 left, right? So
Yeah.
it's could if
there's
I
12 points left. There's 12 points
Yeah,
left.
but
So
mathematically, you're
Yeah.
not in
Yeah.
yet. But
No.
you know, in fairness, you can pretty much say by the end of the week you're in.
I'll put that
Again,
jinx
see,
on.
Terry's
I'll
playing
put
the
that
Scurvy
jinx
this
on.
week, and again, there's another decision that's going to make some changes in the standings.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't like how nice
know,
you're
like-
being. I don't like it. My team can't handle like too much love. I like to keep it like
Yeah,
oh,
make me the underdog, damn it.
it's like Kansas City, right? With the Chiefs, they got Travis Kelce was saying nobody believed in us. You guys, you're the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Nobody could believe that you could do it, but he had to like fake himself out and think that everybody was against him to pump him up.
Yeah.
That's how I work with my team too. No, my team's not good. Don't worry about us. Don't even look at us.
You just don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs because you don't know about injuries, and the schedule's a killer, like the NHL schedule.
Yeah.
Because if the NHL schedule favors one team, that can really hurt you. Or have a situation like I'm in a situation where it's very possible that the Islanders could be playing 3 games in a week, and Varlamov plays the first game and the last game of the week, and I get Sorokin for 1 game.
Yeah.
That can happen, right?
Very much.
And so that just nullifies my goaltending unless I get 1 great save percentage from him. But I still got my second guy playing who could be ruining the save percentage. But the NHL scheduling has a big part to do with the playoffs as well, for sure. I'll tell you one thing. I don't think I'd want to play Dono in the playoffs because I just don't know what kind of week he's going to have. If he's going to have a good one, he's probably going to beat me.
His highs are very high.
Very high. And his
Those
lows,
highs will beat anybody.
yeah, his lows are down. there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could beat his
The
lows.
key would be, can he sustain it for 6 weeks through the playoffs? That's the difference. So right the way that you guys are saying it,
Yeah.
you know, essentially you're saying he has his down weeks. You know, that one down week could be the one that's going to get him, and it's the only one that's going to get him all year.
But he
Right,
really
we're
wasn't.
all
He
playing.
really wasn't having down weeks at the start of the year. He went. He started the roller coaster after about the first third of the season, and then he started going on this 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses. It was crazy.
You know, so it's he should be in as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's.
Oh,
got a pretty
I
good
think he'll
chance.
make it too.
Yeah, we'll
The question would be
discuss
is that
we
who
don't-
doesn't
we'll
make
discuss
it
who we
in
think
there,
will
then,
make it.
right?
Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
Sorry.
Oh, I said we can discuss who because there's 9 of us now going for 8 spots.
Right.
So
Yeah.
And
we'll figure out who that
Yeah,
Man,
we'll figure out who that is. We're just going to take a small break here and we'll be right back and we'll talk about that. I think when we come back from the break, we'll start with Renee, the 3-time champion, and talk about the Lakers for a little bit here. So we'll see you right
good.
after this. All right, so we're back after a quick break and we're going to jump right back into it and talk about the 3-time champion Harrison Lakers. Renee is looking really solid, except for one thing, the way I see it, and that's just the only thing that I could see stopping Renee from winning the cup this year would be his goaltending.
which is like what, the last 9 years, he's always had good goaltending.
It's always been a
staple.
staple to his team, always. Yeah, but now
It's
he's
a weird little
got
turnaround.
he's got the horses up front, but
You see who's got in this? He's got Lankinen and Saros, and he's going double Nashville.
yeah, and Nashville's not doing so great, so that doesn't help
No, it does not. It's
when you're
he
going
signed
all over one
Bedard for
team.
3 years and hoping that maybe he would be the stopgap that he needs, and it might still be. But Markstrom,
Mark's
there's just like, but he was good like what 2-3 years ago, and then Dean got him, and he was, or no, he was bad and good.
Al, remember Al traded him and then Dean got him and he had a great year for Dean, and then
Yeah,
he just
that's
shit
right.
the bed again.
That's right, and he's back down. So maybe
Yeah.
Dean's got some luck. Maybe Dean's got that goalie luck.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, that's really the weakness I see with Renee's team. And he obviously started slow as well this year. He was mostly in 6th place in the Bossy division and then just shot up.
Really? He was down that low? Wow.
Oh yeah, he was way down there. He was like 5th. He was fighting it out at 5th and 6th spot. Yeah.
That must have been like
4
or 5 weeks ago, though, right? Because he's been
No, I'm talking
really-
about the first
Yeah.
5 weeks of the season or so, and then after the 5 weeks, he just went maybe
Yeah.
one of the hottest teams in the league right now.
So is he a pretender then? He's kind of like a Dono, like you're not sure where you're gonna get. Like, did he peak too high? Did he peak too fast? Like, who knows? I don't know. Is he as fearsome as he normally is?
Bottom
Like, I know
bottom
you're- I
line
know
for
you're
me,
scared of him still.
it just comes back to the goaltending. Every time I look at his team, that's all I can think of. That's all I see. And Saros can be great, and he can be, not so good because he's on.
I don't know if
bad
it's
team.
Saros.
What?
I think you already said it. I don't think it's necessarily Saros. I think it's just plain and simple is that Nashville is now a middle of the road team, right? They're not an elite team anymore, and I think that's part of the issue there.
Yeah.
100.
Calgary too. Calgary was great last year, and they just haven't got up to that same spot. And he's got both goalies for Calgary and Nashville. So what do you do? I know you're not afraid of him, right, Keith? Like you welcome the chance.
I
to
think
play in the
that's why I
playoffs.
said last week I want him in the first round, right?
That's right.
I take the goalie stats on him, and I think I can
Oh,
run
yeah.
with him. I can run penalty minutes with him, and I can run, maybe goals. I think, that's one thing that I've noticed in the last month. I've scored a lot of goals. So I think that, if there's somebody that's going to get beat early, it could be Renee. And he's in trouble again this week too, by the looks of it.
You're kicking the
now-
shit out of him right now. Holy Christ. I just took a look at it. I went, holy Christ, 16 points to 9. Oh man.
Who?
Yeah.
Dono's playing him? Or
No, Keith is. Keith's kicking him 5-1 right now.
Damn it, my goalie just good. Sorry.
It's like that's what I say is like you look at the standings and stuff. That's like if Renee was to take 2 on the chin this week, because he's also playing
Dono's beating him up.
is Al beating him?
No, I think Dono's beat him up. Like, he's up 6-1 too, isn't he?
I'm just looking for Renee's other game.
I think it's Dono.
Donald's playing him, right?
Yeah.
So if he, like if Donald was to beat him and go 2-0 this week, Renee goes 0-2, all of a sudden,
Yeah. I know.
I
It
don't want
could
to
flip again.
man. I do not want to be in that division.
No, it's a tough one.
So he's always, I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs. And I've called him the moneymaker in the past, and he's proven it. I mean, he's got the most. And this year, though, I just think that there's too many of us a little bit better than what he is. But the key that he's got is he's got 2 open years, and he still has every one of his picks.
Yeah.
So don't say that he doesn't have the ability to throw his first up and maybe a third or a fourth to go pick up a 2 or 3 year goalie and just make adjustments. You know, he can make that change. So
Now, are you saying this? Are you
the fact
saying
that
that,
we're
Keith?
discussing it?
Are you saying that because I saw you put Linus on the block? Are you trying to persuade maybe Renee to
Sure.
trade his first
I
over to
did
you?
send him an
or-
offer. I won't hide
Yeah.
it.
That's pretty freaking smart, man. That's pretty
Very
smart.
smart. Very smart.
Here, let me help you out. You don't realize
could
this,
take
but
one
you're
of it-
really helping me.
Talbot's
Beat that
supposed to be
guy.
back pretty soon, and I like Ottawa. So, but anyway, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Renee. But yeah, I did. I kind of thought about it. I was like, okay, well, you know, Renee knows that I know he's an old school guy, and I know that he'll give the right trade value, and you can make him pay, but he might not want to rebuild next year, you know, because Renee's another guy. He just doesn't ever quit. He has to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And but you know, Linus Ullmark for 2 years is just as good as what McDavid is for 1.
Well, I didn't know Allmark was for 2. I thought he was for 1.
Yeah, 2 years.
Nope.
Oh, wow. And you're really offering him up
Yes, he is.
Sure.
after you passed up Hellebuck in the draft? Wow. Well, what do you got against good
Kinda hurt
goaltending,
me.
man? What do you got against good goaltending? Anyway,
So, anyway, yeah.
I could see Renee definitely being one of the guys who just, you know, tears it up in the playoffs and goes all the way. Or like you said, Keith, I could also see him losing in the first round with the goaltending being suspect. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Saros fan because I always cheer for the little guy, right? But he has his bad moments too. So
Yeah, he has.
and then, like he said, investing it all in Nashville goaltending it's a sign of disaster happening. But overall, he's looking pretty strong. But let's whip through the rest of the Metro here. We've talked about the top 6 teams. Let's talk about West for a second for the Flames of Fleury.
Hey. Oh, golf clap. Golf clap.
He's getting the clap for me for doing the rebuild right. Well
Finally.
done, Wes. Well done. Yes, finally. But very proud of Wes this year. He's done it right, and he's in the mix right now for first seed.
Oh yeah, he's there. Like he's got a strong. All bottom 4 have strong teams, and if West can because he's got Quick, he's got Spencer Knight, and he's got Reimer. Like his goaltending is not terrible, and Reimer might get traded to somewhere good.
Yeah.
So like maybe Jelaine or Jillian, as you like to call her,
I know.
finally talked Wes into tanking and doing it proper for once. Maybe, I don't know, but he's doing it right this year.
I just can't say it properly. It's these
That's all
dentures, Jillian.
Got a little French accent on that.
I did.
No-
I did. I like
Little
all
Star
her,
Wipe or
I like all her monkey videos and all those things there. I guess that doesn't sound very good, does it?
yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that one. You're on your own there, Terry. But
Oh, don't you have her on
Spank the
Facebook?
monkey.
I do, but I don't go on it very much. I'm not like
Well, she's a zoo person, right?
big time.
So she posts videos of her, you know, monkeys and shit like that. So I watch them all, Jill. Watch them all. So anyway, this podcaster is giving out a huge kudos to Mr. Wes Thomas for doing such a great job on his
Good job, Wes.
year. Now, Wes, you just got to come through with some good picks.
Yeah, just hunker down all summer, figure out who you want, and then I would almost do one more rebuild, Wes. But
I would
I
too,
know
but I don't
you're-
think he has the patience for that.
he doesn't have the patience. He'll go for it again next year.
He's losing a lot of guys next year. He's got a lot of 1-year guys.
He always has
Yeah.
a lot of 1-year guys. That's the problem. Like he'll have 46 years in cap years and no reason not to have more.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. Yeah. So we're mentoring Wes. We're getting him there. And he took the first step this year by doing the rebuild right. And boy, if he gets the first seed, good for you, Wes. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
if he gets the first seed, he's taking Kachuk. That's for sure.
And then I guess we got to talk about Steve, who's 2-0.
Yeah, he's proud. He was happy. He texted
he?
me. He texted me Sunday. He's like, "You think I'm gonna hold on?" And it looks like it was plus minus. And
That's what I was looking at too. It was Sunday night and everything was over, and I'm just looking at the plus minus. I go, well, Renee could get him here on the plus minus. I wonder what'll happen. And then you don't ever really find out because it goes to the weekly stats, right?
Yeah.
So you never get to see the end of the final night of how it ended in the plus minus, but you figure it out, which I did. So they were both same plus minus that night.
I think you made some comments there like a while back there, Keith, about Stevie beating Al, right? And then
That's right. Yeah.
Shit talking Al's team, and I think maybe Steve took that to heart. Took low. He's like, "Oh yeah, well here I'm gonna put my team together, and I'm gonna show the world." Maybe Al. Who knows?
I'm gonna show the world. I got a contender.
Again.
I got a contender.
Again, so it comes down to scheduling. It's like because these guys have tanked so much at the beginning of the year that they've got the cushion that they can put their guys together and go, I'm fucking with it. I'm gonna try and knock some of these guys off. And you know what? On any given week, as Terry said, you're 1-3, and Varlamov gets 2 of them, and Sorokin gets 1 for the week. And guess what? I don't care how good Allmarker or Sorokin is; they can't win it on 1 game a week.
Yeah,
so these guys all of a sudden steal like 2 goalie stats, and fucking it's wild game now.
I'm a little
like I said, it's good.
I'm a little bit worried about the playoffs. Yeah, I guess we should talk about me. Oh no, we're going to talk a little more about Steve here. We skipped over my team. I forgot about that. So anyway,
that's all right.
Very impressed with what Steve's done as well, and he obviously thinks that he's good enough to win the first overall pick because he doesn't care if he's first seed or not.
No, yeah, that's no. You would have thought maybe that could come into play, right? If you're
with me, it would have. With me, it would have. I'm not going to lie. There is one person not going by that. And that would be somebody's son on this panel.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah, no, he's going to the bitter end. He wants his seating.
Good for him.
He's still checking out the injured guys.
He's not. He's already. I told him already. I said, Nick, like, put a little bit of effort, and he goes, no. He goes, fuck. He says, I don't care where I pick between 1 and 4, to be perfectly honest. And I just like, okay, well, that's kind of a good attitude. He goes, you know what, Dad? He says, I've got my prospects list is full. And he says, so I don't have a lot of room. And he goes, a lot of the guys on the waiver wire, he says, my guys are just as good. I just need them to be healthy. So he's still into the pool. I won't say he's not, but obviously we all know that when you're competing, it's a little more funner.
Yes.
But with Nick, Terry, you're right. He's just doesn't. He's going with it, and that's just how it's going to be. And
I don't know.
He doesn't want the first pick, to be honest, because he doesn't want to have to decide between the 2 guys that he thinks should be there.
It's
going to drop on his lap.
Do you have inside information? Who does he think is going to be the top 2? Kachuk and somebody?
Bedard?
Kachuk and Bedard. Ooh. Absolutely. He's well, as he puts it, he goes, Dad, I'm probably about 2-3 years away. And I went, you know what? 2 years on Bedard is a pretty good call.
So he's thinking of taking
next. Kind of a waste for him.
Oh,
hey?
Oh, you're talking about in the past. You said this. He's not going another 2-3 years rebuilding, is he?
Oh, absolutely. Nick, you take a look at his team. He's 2 years away, minimum.
Okay.
Minimum. He knows it's going to take a long time to
but he was down there last year, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. He took
Oh.
Nylander and he's sat him on his bench all year.
Okay.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. Anyway,
So yeah.
we'll get back to finish off the Metro here. So anyway, good job by Steve. He's obviously shown he's got a good contender to go for that first overall pick. And I guess we'll talk about the Courtney Islanders too. So here's a tale of two different teams. One that started the season smoking hot and then just tailed off for about 6 weeks and could never get 2 wins in a week for about 6 weeks there. And now all of a sudden have won their last 4 and are starting to heat up again for the playoffs. And last week, the Islanders went 15-0. So once again, it's one of those things where you just, what I don't know why my boys just took off like, well, 2 5-point nights will do that. Two
Who's
different
that? Oh,
Tkachuk
Panarin Kachuk. Yeah.
and Panarin.
Yeah.
So-
Panarin got
Yeah.
4 goals and an assist.
Yeah. So, but even with that, I still would have had, I think, the most points for the week. Take away
you're
the,
up in the high 40s, weren't you?
50s.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was 54. I was 48.
Oh,
You were
okay. So,
54.
yeah. So I would have lost if I didn't get those 2 5-point games in the points department anyway. So I can honestly tell you guys, I honestly don't know what my team is going to bring week to week. I think I have a good team down on paper, but then I look at everybody else's team and I go, they're all just as capable of beating me as it just depends on the week. That's the way I see it for the Islanders. And I will say something since you called Keith out, Ryan. I told Keith the other day, he asked me, who would you like to face in the playoffs? And I had to be honest with him. I had to say, as stupid as it looks right now with the way Keith's team's playing, I have to pick Keith because
Ooh, baby.
my record is better against Keith than the other 3 teams in the top
Wow.
4 in the Langway. Like I'm 500 with everybody, with you, with Torrin. Well, no, I think I'm 10-7 with Torrin, but it's still and Bo, we're 500, or I might be 1 game above 500 on him. But and Keith, I'm 11-6.
Keith coming at you hard.
Well,
The only problem that I see with that, with those stats, and this is part
I
of the
know
reason why.
different teams throughout the year and that, and
Absolutely, from the start of the season
Yeah.
to where we are now, our teams are not the same. Yours is,
which
for the
is
most part, other than the
which
last
is what I
trade.
just said. By looking at your scores lately, tells me I want nothing to do with you because you're either the top one or you're the second top one of the week, and I've been noticing it. But the long-term stats tell me that you're my best bet.
Yes. Yeah. I
But-
see what you're saying.
The bottom line is I have no control over it. I'll have to
No.
take whatever's given to me.
I don't-
But I guess if you were going to ask me that question, I guess that's what I'd have to come up with. But with the way I'm playing the Scurvy this week, then maybe I don't want to play them.
Yeah, you're beating up on Skivvy right now.
Yeah. I'm still having a little problem with Garrow. Big freaking surprise there. I always have problems with Garrow.
Fuck, that fucking guy probably. If you had to ask me, I would give Garrow the fucking coach of the year.
Really?
Yeah,
Do
He
tell.
come out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't. There's no way at the beginning of the season I would have said that he would be having the record and the run that he's having.
he was a playoff team last year.
But kudos to him. Well, I know you're right, but I'm just saying is that he's got a team that can fucking knock anybody off too.
Yes,
So,
he does.
Oh,
You know,
Yes, he does.
that's just me saying that. But
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
look at his
getting back
goals.
to you, Terry, is that the problem that you've got now is that you're so fucking top heavy in scoring that everybody's got to try to needle the other stats away from you
Yeah.
or something. You know, like
I think I
got two of
fixed
the
up my
top five
goals.
Fucking guys.
I think I fixed up my goals problem.
Sure, you did.
Yeah.
In a hurry. Now, the only thing that I was gonna say though is what I think might hurt you more than anything is depth.
Yeah.
Because if you take 2 injuries at the top of your lineup,
Well,
I don't know that the
I still
depth
have
isn't gonna match it.
I have another trade in the bin that would help that out. So I'm just
Okay, well,
What was that?
I'm pondering on that one right now. So I don't know if I'm going to make this move, but I'm thinking about it. So if you're watching this broadcast right now, you know who I'm talking to. Yeah, I'm talking about the trade offer you sent me. So I know it's been sitting in the bin there for about a day and a half, but I'm thinking about it a lot.
Interesting.
So,
So somebody offered you a trade.
somebody offered me a trade, and it might work out. Might work out.
I wonder who it is. I
Yeah.
hate this. I don't like not knowing.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm gonna guess he's going after a fucking top end defenseman.
I've been going
And,
after a top. You know what? I've been going after a top end defenseman all year, and nobody will give.
Well, that's tough because nobody wants to give up defensemen, right?
I know. I went after Fox. I went after Yossi. I went after Hughes. I went after, and nobody was willing to budge. And then they traded other people. So
Oh yeah, I scored Hughes.
yeah, and you know why? I know we're going to talk about the trades later, but you know why I went and got Draisaitl? Because the Courtney Islanders have played the Draisaitl more times than anybody this year. Every time Draisaitl got traded, I played him on his new team the next week. And I played Draisaitl about 7 times this year, I think, with all those freaking trades going back and forth.
So if you can't beat him, you just joined him, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm not playing you anymore. I'm not playing you anymore this year, Draisaitl. Forget it.
Yeah.
So that pretty much takes care of the bossy right now. So let's
Well, what do you want to talk about, Garrow? We didn't talk about Garrow. We
Did
talked
you
about a little bit
skip
during
Garrow?
yours.
Okay, yeah, let's talk more about Garrow. You already made the statement that you figured he can take out anybody at any given time, and I agree.
Look at his goal, like these goalies,
His
right?
goaltending's outstanding, but his scoring's just not.
It's up and down. That's like the Dono roller coaster like you're talking about, right? It's
Yeah.
up and down. He's got Hughes, he's got scorers on the team.
It has the capabilities of being a good week.
Yeah.
If he's the number 4 seed, Ryan, I don't think you're going to be too happy because
I won't be
he's
happy
got
with
that
anybody.
goaltending that fucking. I like his chances of taking his 2 goals right there, and
I'm playing him this week. We'll find
that's
out.
why I say he's capable of knocking anybody off. He's got the
Yeah.
goaltending that the rest of us don't.
Ryan hasn't told us who he'd like to square off against.
No, I said last week. I said I got Garrow's number, so I said I would take Garrow.
Oh, that's right. You did too. I remember saying that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Head games. It's all
Yeah.
I got. I'm in his head.
Well,
cycle.
Everybody else should be happy if you did take him out because that goaltending is a factor of upsetting.
I'm gonna be happy that 3 other teams get taken out if I happen to win. All 3 of them, whoever they are. Great. I don't have to play any of those 3 guys.
Yeah, that's it.
But I have
like
to
I
play
said
this
earlier,
guy now.
Fucking 5th seed or 4th seed or 5th seed in the division on a crossover or whatever. I think that
I would like
2 weeks is a little bit tough for the weaker teams to actually outdo the top end teams. There's no question in my mind, but it can happen sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
For
sure. Gators
Well, it
were
has
pretty average
happened
last week.
What was that? Bo took out. Who did Bo take out a couple years back? First round. Was it Renee?
No. Yes, Renee. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Was that on his run to
And,
the run to the cup?
So it's,
Yes.
No, was that would
Sure,
did Bo take out Renee when he was on when he went to the cup and played Dean in the finals? Was that year?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
It was a
sure.
magical year for you, Bobby. Magical
He
year.
rode all those Rangers.
And he's got it back
He
now.
goes and
He's
gets
got
them
them all
again.
back. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt. I think that Darryl probably has. Well, he's definitely in the top 2-3 tandems in the entire league, if not the top.
Has
10.
to be.
He is the top
has to
tandem.
be.
Yeah, if not, like I said, I know you and I talked about this, Keith, but I'll still, when both my guys are playing good, I'll put up my 2 guys against anybody's.
Who, Bob?
What's that?
Bob?
Bob's been playing good again, man. He's been.
Yeah.
When he's
playing good.
on it, he's on it. Yeah,
He's
I'll
on
give
it,
you that.
yeah.
His last 28 days, I think he's third in save percentage.
Really? Bob's back.
Bob's back in town, so
Just in time.
Yeah.
yeah. So you never know. All right. So anything else on Garrett?
No, I just
Yeah. No,
I wanna put him in
we're
there.
trying to get everybody in the podcast here.
Yeah.
He's gonna make the playoffs, but he won't. I don't know if he'll go far in the playoffs. You know,
Well, if he plays me
win
first round, I hope he
one
doesn't.
round, but huh?
So if he's playing me in the first round, I hope he doesn't go far at all.
Yeah.
Hope he goes.
I hope it ends up
Of
4-4.
course.
I hope it's 4 from each division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it best when it's 4-4. It's just better for rivalries and that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
that
flip
means
over to
like
Langley
either-
and talk about you, Ryan.
Sure.
Talk about you. Why don't you tell us about you?
Well, I'm holding on to dear life up there. It's scary at the top. Everybody's gunning for you. I had who did I have last week? I can't remember. I had Al. I took Al out. I took the heart out of his chest and crushed his dreams. And then I traded, and then I traded with him, and then Keith traded with him. We'll talk about that later. And then I played I played Wes, and I was like, that's nice to have. That's nice. It was easy.
Yes.
It was a nice, easy game to have. And then yeah, Keith kept up with me. He got 2-0. I think Scurvy, like Torn, went 2-0, and Bo might have went 1. Bo went 0-1-1. So I got a little ground on Bo, but other than that, everybody's staying up there with me. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park, and it shouldn't be when you're talking about the Marty Braman Cup. So
Yep.
but I'm on top right now still, and it's okay. I'm okay.
I had to look at the Flames beating me 6-1 for a week.
They did.
No, they were beating me 6-1 for the first week and then the All-Star break. But on the board, and even though we're not playing, I'm still going back. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, but I'm looking at something on the site and whatever.
Yeah.
And there's the Flames beating me 6-1.
And then
first game back, I'm like 9 points ahead of them after the first day. And
turn that around that fast. Yeah.
but for a week, I had to look at the Flames beat me 6-1.
Yeah. That's
So,
it. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm going to talk about with Lincoln Salt Dogs. That's all you need to say. We'll move on to the second place. The new second place team.
No. We're going to move on to Keith. Who,
That's exactly the new second place team.
Who's chasing? Yes, no, we're not talking about Keith's team, but we're talking about him chasing you, and we want to hear what he thinks of your team.
All right.
Oh no, I can't catch Ryan. Like I said, it's the Gators and Ryan are the first place teams in their division, and especially if Renee takes the losses this week, that looks like he might. The Gators pretty much, are going to be first in that division, and I can't catch Ryan, but is the one thing that I am trying to do is create the distance between me and Bo, and it's us,
Ryan doesn't like hearing positive things about his team. He thinks you're jinxing him.
He is. He's sandbagging his team.
No,
He's jinxing
no.
my team.
Well, yeah, but Ryan, you've been the most consistent probably through the course of the year, and
Yes,
the amount of
for sure.
trades and additions that you do on the waiver wire, like I've had a pretty good year, I think, as far as the way
Yes.
that I've done things and how I've gone about it.
Excellent
Like at
year.
the beginning of the year, the only way I
Yes.
could win games at the beginning of the year because of my injuries was to win penalty minutes and plus minus, and my goaltending, and I knew that, and then as my guys started coming back, I started thinking, okay, got to go a little more offensive,
Yeah.
and there's just too much of a gap between the top 4 or 5 teams in the offense side. And so I was like, okay, well, I have some of my own guys because Manco came in handy, obviously. And then I made a trade to get Hyman, and all of a sudden my scoring started increasing and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's when I just said, okay, well, just keep tinkering and keep adding. And I built a lot of draft picks at the beginning of this year, and I was able to use them recently. And, it's kind of put me in the mix, and I'm beatable. There's no question. I mean, I got 11 losses, so do the best that I can. I'm a playoff team. I think you predicted that at the beginning of the year, Ryan. And
I picked you
part
for
of the year,
the first overall.
I asked you to talk about Ryan's team, not your team.
No, let's move on. Let's go. We'll move on to the second place team. The newly.
No, you didn't
newly,
ask me that,
second
Terry.
place team.
I did. Yes, I did.
No.
That's what that long.
I did go over
was.
Ryan's team. I said he can't be beatable.
I know, but then you went straight into yourself.
Perfect. Let's talk about the second place team.
No,
Let's talk about
okay, then
McLaren
Ryan
Mustangs.
said talk about Keith.
But
one of
anyway,
the
it works
things.
out to be a really good segue because you're next to talk about anyway. So it worked out very
Exactly.
well. So
But yeah, so I just improved my defense slightly with a couple with that trade with Al, and I'm not, like I just want to be able to give you guys a run. I don't want you any one of you guys winning it because everybody else sucked.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Just maybe try a little
And-
less.
I honestly I feel that my window is more next year.
Well, with those picks you got, it's going to be stronger next year. You got what, 2 firsts, I think, maybe?
Yeah, 2 firsts and 2 seconds
Yeah.
still.
That's
No,
pretty
1
good.
second. I gave 1 away.
Yeah, and,
And,
you're contending this year. Like that's a recipe for
Well,
a
and
dangerous team next year.
yeah.
Next year's draft is pretty fucking deep into 2 rounds, right?
good.
Like
Yeah.
there's some good fucking players out there and
Yeah.
heavy hitting defensemen.
Yep.
Yes.
So
You know what the problem is when we think of this year's draft, like at this date in time, and look at the draft coming ahead, not
October,
like
yeah.
this, not the one coming up, but the next one, we see it as weak, right? Oh, there's not many
Yeah.
guys coming up this time, but what all the players that all of a sudden pop up in that time
Exactly.
from now till then, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
whoa, a weak draft went to a really strong draft.
Correct.
You get this guy, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what happened to this one coming up. Because remember last year we were predicting this as a really weak draft.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah,
Nope.
you're correct.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
funny how quick it can change.
Yep.
So anyway, I think that more than any one advantage that I do have, you guys are talking about records against each other and stuff. If you look at my record against that other division, it's fucking pretty strong. I
Yeah.
struggle with guys in my own division, right? Whereas I'm beating, other than you, Terry, I think I'm beating or I'm competing enough with the guys in your division that, if I can match up. That's why I don't want flying colors. I do not want him because his fucking goaltending can fucking run with me.
Yeah,
And I know I got a decent tandem. I don't have a great tandem,
you,
but I
you
got
could,
a tandem that can beat.
you
it
could
could
be
win
looking.
any week.
You could be looking at a 12-point week and then a 10-point week in a series against Garrett.
Yes. Yeah.
22 points in goaltending. Didn't have a
Yes, you
chance.
could.
And there's 2 goals in all 3
Yeah.
games. Just gone.
So I think our division is going to be well represented. I personally think our division is actually stronger.
I like it.
So
You're just looking at
that's
the
why I kind of want to
overall.
cross over.
You're looking at the
That's-
the overall team, right? Like you say, this guy's a real contender because he's got everything. He's got the goaltending, he's got the offense, he's got.
Yeah.
That's why you mean the language.
I don't think we have one of those teams this year, Terry. I don't think we have that. If you look at the stats,
How did
you look at the
all
stats-
these teams get so much talent on them?
No idea. It's like an anomaly that like there's this many. There's
It's like-
9 crazy good teams.
Like
And even the
they're-
guys who
and
are at
they're
the bottom.
loaded. They're loaded. It's not like we all got 5 really good guys at the top to get us
Yeah.
all our points, right? Like the whole rosters, they're freaking loaded.
because
Crazy.
scoring's
not-
up this year.
Yeah,
There's
that
less
helps.
shutouts this year than there has been in previous
True.
years.
Yeah,
And how do you pick like if you look at Ottawa, you look at Vancouver, these guys are at the bottom of the standings, and then you look at their top guys, like Brady Kachuk's fucking approaching 60 points. Fuck
He's a
man,
beauty.
he's gonna
I
be an
know.
80-point guy, 90-point guy
Yeah.
this year. Brady
Yeah.
Kachuk. Like fuck on a shitty team. So
Yeah.
when and the Canucks, I mean Petey's gonna hit fucking 90 points.
Yep.
Right? Like these guys are just coming out of the fucking woodwork. And with the scoring being up and everything, it's even a shitty team can score 5 goals a night.
Yeah.
So
Offense.
I think
That
that's the
tells that
reason why
offense.
what's happened. These guys have all elevated themselves because goal scoring has gone up.
Yep.
yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know. Back in the early years, it just seemed like 4 or 5 teams were kind of loaded, and everybody else kind
Well,
of
yeah.
crap.
The 4th place teams in each division were like shit. not
Yeah.
shit, but not good.
Yeah.
And like even
Yeah, no,
like
you're
one of
right.
the third place teams were not good. And now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there's 9 that are good. And even I was gonna say even like the bottom feeders, well, not bottom feeders, the lower 4 teams, like they could put like just like Steve just beat Renee.
Yeah.
So like his team is like
nuts.
it's everybody. There's not like there's not really a truly weak team. I don't think in the whole league.
I'm a little bit scared about how to play Steve now in the last week of the
Mhm.
season.
Mhm.
Hey,
Not push
relax,
anymore.
Steve. Chillax. You proved your point. I get it. I get it. You got a team. Good, good.
He wants to beat us all now. He's like, fuck or frick all. I shouldn't swear on this. Screw all you people.
That's right.
You're allowed to
Uh,
swear on this.
what's
We're
that?
not governed by the CRTC.
That's
Perfect.
You
right.
can swear on this. You're not governed by the CRTC.
That's right.
Fucking A.
Yeah, that's why. And I tell you, well, like when I'm doing Canadian Islander fan podcasts, when I do them, and the people say the reason they like them when they get back to me and in touch with me and that is because I'm not like a team reporter can't say what I say.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if he does, he's going to get fired. He's going to be gone, man. You're not our
Yeah.
team. You're not our team reporter. You can only say positive things. Well, I say
Yeah.
a lot of negative things, right? That nobody else
Speak the
can say.
truth.
That's why
That's right.
I really think that's why podcasts have taken over from like mainstream media.
Yeah.
A lot of
You're
people
on a
are-
roll, Terry.
Anyway, tell you what, we got some big news. We're going to take one more final break here. But when we come back, timestamp this. We're going to be talking about the Port Elgin Wolfpack. Embo. All right, so we're back once again after a break, but with the world of magic and podcasting, what was 10 minutes for us was just only a mere second for you. And here we are already, voila, we're back and ready and raring to go. And we're going to talk about the Port Elgin Wolfpack. Mr. Bo Hull has a very nice team put together once again, did it with some trades and very solid. I thought at one point he might actually take first place there for a while, like get up there and stay there. But
Yeah, he was up there at the start, wasn't he? He was at the
yeah,
start.
he was up at the top. But I actually thought there was a point there where I was thinking like he may just keep this up, and then you just came storming up, and you've been just too hard to handle. So, but Bo still a solid looking team. Take it away,
Yeah,
right?
he was tough last week. He was 0-1-1, but this week he's got 2 fluffier opponents. He's got Al and he's got Wes. But even right now, like I looked at the scores, Al's beating him 4-3, I think. But the Rangers are up 5-3 in real life, and Panarin's got 2, and I think Tarasenko's got a point, and he's got Miller's got a goal. So his Rangers are producing for him, and that like you said, like 2 or 3 years ago when he was made to the finals, that was his golden ticket, was the Rangers. So maybe that's what he needed to get rid of Leon and get those Rangers back on the squad.
Now they'll play for him once again now that he's back on track.
Well, like it was a good trade. Like they're good. They're both good, but like I think Leon's got the better future, and I think he's better now. But Panarin, like that 4 or 5 point night with you last week, and he's got 2 already. It's only into like halfway there in the second. So, like,
I don't know if you remember how Panarin ended that one season the year before I drafted him, Ryan, when me and you came first, second. He was scoring like 3 points, 4 points a night. Remember?
Yeah,
he was unstoppable. And now you put
Tarasenko back. The shit out of Philadelphia.
What's that?
That's when they were pounding the shit out of Philadelphia. I remember it.
Yeah.
Well, and like the Rangers, like with Tarasenko now, it's like they're just a scoring machine. Like Keith said earlier in the podcast, like all the scoring's up. So when you add across the NHL, so you add Tarasenko to that team, that line, like that's a lot of that's just points, and like the one of the weaker spots, I think, not weak, but just can't really like believe it. Like Jones, right? His goaltender, Martin Jones, like that.
Like it's insane.
I think Seattle's like going to start to rely on Grubauer more, which is unfortunate.
What has he got? 23 wins. I think Jones has 23
he's up
wins.
there.
23
Yeah.
and like 7, maybe. Like it's
Yeah. Well, I thought last I saw was 23-4.
like that's crazy. But
Yeah.
and they still won't give like Seattle still won't give him the reins. Like Grubauer's playing a lot more now. I just don't understand it.
He gets the cash. That's why.
That's right. Whoever's got the cash, like that's why. Yeah. And then he's got Copley, who's got like an extension. So like maybe his goaltending's fine. Maybe that could be an area where you might want to look. Like his D's good and his forwards are good. He's scoring like he's always been. I think throughout his career in the no control zone, he's been like pretty shit on penalties. Like he just doesn't get a goon squad at all. He just doesn't do it. And
Him and me. I try, but man, I try, but like I got a guy like Marchand in that. Now he's mellowing, like
yeah,
it's like shit. I try, I
Yeah.
really do, and so I got a lot of guys who will take 2-minute penalties.
yeah. If you get a week where they all like
Yeah.
18 players take two like that, it's nice to get those 10s, right? Those 10s and the 15s. Like I saw Josh Anderson do that there last night. He had
Yeah.
a 2, a 5, and a 10. It's like, oh, that's nice. Like Crosby,
40 minutes,
my
baby.
my game last week against Al wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't supposed to be close on Sunday, and then Saturday night Crosby gets 22 freaking penalty minutes. Now I got to worry about a game on Sunday where I could just relaxed. So like you get those.
I hate
Yeah,
when
man.
that happens. Hey, man, I was supposed to relax Sunday.
That's
I
right.
wasn't supposed to be worried about checking the scores and shit like that. I should have just
Now I got to worry.
well, I'll
but
check it
yeah,
at the end of the night and see how much I won by.
exactly. So like I think Bo can like it's gonna be tight, like me, Bo, and Keith. And I don't know where it's gonna end because like I know Keith says I'm fucking can't catch me, but that's shit. I'm very catchable right now. So if I win these 2 weeks, then maybe we'll talk about something else. But like Bo can catch me, Keith can catch me. The only one who doesn't have really chance,
He's 6
Yeah.
points behind you, man.
who Bo is?
Keith. Oh no, hold on a second. Yeah, 6 points behind you.
Hey, that's fine. That's
Oh, you're a nervous Nelly.
well, a team like him, he's not going to lose too many. Like with Keith and a team like Bo, they're both not going to lose very many games. So I
Dude.
have to win. I can't rely on other teams losing.
I
which
know.
don't like. I like.
I
I like when the
know.
league is a little weaker.
I'm the same as you. I don't need the stress.
No, and then like the teams are too strong. Like
No, come on in.
Keith strong, Bo strong, Torrance strong, like and
Yeah.
the other division strong. So it's like we said, this year's Sonia, how are you? This year's is too strong. So it's like, what are you gonna do? But Bo's there and he's made a good trade and he's flying high right now.
That was a tough one for me to pull. It really was. I knew they had the junior chemistry, Panarin and Tarasenko and that. And then I thought to myself, one of the reasons why I got a guy like Dean Wolberg in the league and that was in the other league, he made sure that I got John Tavares. You know what I mean? He's a Rangers fan, right?
Mhm.
But he knew how much it meant for me to get Tavares. So he did everything in his power to help me get Tavares, right?
Nice.
So
Yep.
and Dean's always been like that. So like I know Bo's a huge Rangers fan, and I tell you what, we'll say this. I'm a little bit disappointed because I was enjoying watching Ranger games because I find them very entertaining.
They are.
And I hate to say that as an Islander fan, but I was really enjoying watching their games, and I had lots of reason to watch. Right,
Yeah.
I had 4 fucking Rangers, and I sat back and went, "Whoa, how the hell did that happen?"
Too many New York players, Terry.
I had 5 Islanders, 4 Rangers, and you know what's even worse? I took a look at my roster. After that, I took a look at my starting roster, and 18 of them were from the Eastern Conference.
It's a lot. I don't know if
And
that's
I
good or
went-
bad.
I went, oh man, my subconscious is drafting and acquiring picks of what I watch most.
That's
of it.
right.
That's
Well, that
my
makes sense.
it's my biggest knowledge, right? So
Yep.
all my trades, I went and got West Coast guys.
Smart.
Draisaitl, Marchand. I got a couple of West Coast guys now and there and that, because I'll tell you what, if I hadn't have won by the time the for you, Ryan, it would be the 7 o'clock games. For me and Keith, it would be the 4 o'clock games. If I hadn't won the game that night on a Saturday, by that time, I was getting my ass kicked by somebody who had a bunch of West Coast games coming.
It is nice to have the West Coast
Yeah.
players. Like, yeah, it's very nice to have that. It's like it's nice to have like a lead and still have those like that player advantage.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could also just not. They could also not perform. It's what we don't allow that. But yeah, it's like it's.
I think-
I'm glad you got rid of the rain. Like you can't have too many New York.
I still think
players.
he's going to ride that wave. The
Rangers.
Oh, the
Like
Panarin.
Panarin?
Oh, absolutely. And
Great
he
player.
got a good solid defenseman in Lindgren too. Like the guy's great for penalty minutes and for plus minus.
Yeah, he's got Lindgren, he's got Miller, and he's got Pellick. He's got a lot of New York players
Yeah.
now. He's got because I like Pellick on your Islanders. He's a
Yeah.
good,
He's
I like he's a good player.
one of the best two-way defensemen in the league.
Yeah.
I love him for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, anyway, great job by Bo putting his team together. What do you think of the Wolfpack, Keith?
I don't want to play him, and I know I
Mhm.
won't have to until at least the second round.
Yeah.
Maybe in the finals.
Yeah. Well, that means you have to get knocked out.
Well, somebody's got to get knocked out. Well, there's only two. There's only two left in the finals. So
You know what? When a guy's been in the playoff hunt all year long and being at the top of the division, you kind of have to be a little bit scary of him. You know,
Oh, yeah.
he's obviously, he's figured it out and he's got his guys and he gave up, he gave a lot up to get Draisaitl from Ryan, and then you give up a lot to get him from Bo, and so Bo's kind of balanced it a little bit. And yeah, again, there's another one that I think in the first round he could be knocking somebody off that, from the other side, and
yeah.
that's a good thing. It's a good thing when everybody is beating each other all year because there's no fear and like
I think we
I
can
beat
agree
this
though,
guy, but
there'll be no upsets in the playoffs.
no,
yeah.
you can't really
No.
say that. You can't. You won't be able to say that when you're a 10-point difference in the standings at the end of the regular season and you beat the first place team on the other side. That's an upset. But
Yeah.
this is not going to be 10 points. This is going to be. I'm thinking. You could be seeing maybe a stretch of 5-6 points maybe between first and fourth. And that just tells you that there's no walkovers. And
No.
I'd love to see where a tiebreaker has to come in because the games are so fucking close. And now
No, you don't want to. You don't want a
political
tiebreaker. You'd
tiebreakers.
lose it almost to everybody, Keith. You're so
Yeah,
low in the
fantasy stats.
So
Oh, really?
yeah. Keith
Really?
would lose
Yeah.
almost any tiebreaker.
Hmm.
Almost any tiebreaker for sure with the teams that are up there, both divisions.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, he's
Yeah,
so
this
he's
is,
low in that? That's
but you could
crazy.
see it. You could see it. You could, like at the end of 1 week, you could see, especially in the first round. Why, how many ties have we had? Fuck, Ryan, I think we've tied twice.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
And then the next week we tie again. Well, fuck, now what are you gonna do? Well, guess what? Tiebreakers.
Let's find out.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's a big surprise, Ryan. We're 8-1. Big surprise there, aren't we? That every year.
Yeah.
It seems like every single year, me and Ryan's games come down to 4-3 on a Sunday night, usually the last game. And then in fantasy stats, we're usually 500.
It's nice when the Islanders play that night and you can go like -5 or 6. That's nice.
Yeah, I no longer have that many Horvat replaced ones. So now I can only get a -3 on an empty netter now.
Perfect. Still, that's good. I like it. That's good.
Yeah.
There's
And
hope.
of
There's always
course,
hope.
with the 2 empty netters, I can still pull off a good solid -6.
Yeah. But I can go the other way. You can go +6.
I think it's happened once this year.
Yeah.
It goes to did I get that +4?
Hey, that's nice. It'd be nice to have it more than once, but yeah. It was nice. It's
Yeah.
nice last year when it happened.
Actually,
the other
that's
way.
wrong. It happened twice. However, then they kept the goal he pulled and they got scored on again. So they broke even.
So I went up and then back down. It's like a ledger, right? asset, you're in the black and with the plus minus and you're back in the red or whatever the
Yeah. All
accounting
the
terms
high
are.
business terms are red is bad, black is good. It's never made sense to me because red's my favorite color, so red can't be bad. But then I'm kind of bad. So,
Yeah, I know. The
so
bad boy.
whatever.
The bad boy
Well,
podcast.
speaking of bad boys, how about the scurvy? Are the Pirates? The
Scurvy.
Pirates.
I think
coming-
Yeah,
Go ahead, Keith.
he's fucking. I think he's in a bit of trouble, to be honest. He
really.
takes a couple of hits this week.
Hmm.
I think
Look,
he
man,
has to
it's
go
tough
1-1
to win.
for sure, and he has a very hard schedule this week.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Like he's invested so much. You'd hate to see him miss, but yeah,
Sorry, I'm
it's
shaking my
tough.
head.
He's in tough. What's his finishing schedule? That's what I'd like to know. Like his.
I
last
can't
two
remember. I
weeks.
had it all last week.
Yeah, you did. I'll
Yeah.
take a look.
I might actually still have it. Hold on a second.
His
like
schedule.
your
His schedule's
background.
not very.
I like your background. You got
Yeah.
lots of books and stuff.
I've read them all.
You've read them
Maybe not that
all?
one.
All of them? That's
Sure,
a lot
why
of
not?
books.
Yeah, well, I'm a learned individual.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now back to the podcast.
Sorry.
So he's. Oh, hang on. Did I get the right team? Yeah.
Scurvy. You're looking for the scurvy, right?
So he's got you guys both this week.
Yeah.
So I want to say, like no matter what the score would be, I'm not looking at it, but no matter what the scores might be today, I don't think those are the finishing scores.
No.
You guys should really, in reality, beat him. In fairness,
That's
I think he needs to go 1-1. I really do.
this week.
To stay there. to
Yeah, because he
stay in
gets
it, I
flying
think he has
colors,
to beat
flames of
one of us.
flurry. His last 4 games is flying colors, flames of flurry, Yager, and Brewers. So he's got potential to split those 2 games.
Yeah.
So
But he's also got
Easy
the
to ask
potential to take him too.
Yeah.
he needs to go 4-2. He needs to go.
He could go
4-2,
4-2 in
I
that.
honestly believe the rest of
definitely
the way
could. Yep.
in order to fucking make the playoffs. He's got to go
He's-
4-2. If he's anything, 3-3 will not cut it for him. He's got to go 4-2. So you're correct. He's got to split this week.
Yeah, because do you know
I
it's
don't-
actually possible that if Torrin loses both his games, the Highlanders could pass him again, and that would be 6 teams in the East ahead of him.
Yes,
Really?
exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Crazy.
If the Highlanders win both their games this week and Torrin loses both his, the Highlanders and the Brewers are going to be ahead of, because the Brewers are basically 1 point ahead of them right now, right? Or
Yeah.
no, they're tied. No, Brewers are 1 point ahead already. So yeah. So I mean that, and if that happens, it's going to be 5-3 at the end.
Crazy.
I would say.
Maybe Dan
Which-
quits early.
Not good news for me because I certainly don't want to finish in 4th spot if we have 5 teams from the East. I'll tell you that. I'm not looking
Yeah.
for a rematch this year, Ryan.
At
Not
least not in the first round.
the only rematch I'll take with you is in the final.
Exactly.
I can handle losing to you there.
All right, I'll take it. Let's do it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah. I don't think my team's good enough to beat yours. I just don't. Even though we're 500, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm always scared.
The stats say otherwise. Your
No, my
brain
gut.
thinks.
Yeah, I
brain
know.
thinks
It's I'm doing the same thing as you. I'm taking
Oh, I understand.
the
yeah.
pessimistic side of cheering.
Yeah,
Right?
I understand. I know exactly what you're doing.
Like even when the Islanders won their 4 cups, I believe they were going to lose every year because it was
That's
too,
a smart way to do it.
it was too good to be true. It was too good to be
Yeah.
true.
You were actually picking the Canucks to beat them?
Remember how hot Richard Brodeur got to get them there?
Of course I know. I watched it.
Exactly. So did I out in the ocean in the Navy.
Oh, nice.
There you
That's
go.
where I saw the Islanders beat the Canucks. Oat and whiskey 601.
I don't. That's
Good
secret,
times.
top secret stuff, Al or Terry. You can't
Oh, sorry.
whiskey's whatever you said. That's like the Chinese are listening. They got balloons over top of us.
Oh, what have I
Crazy.
done? What have I done?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So
you're-
anyway, I
good thing
think
you're-
with Torn again, going back to Torn, it's he's in do or die situation now.
I agree.
But he's done, you know what? He's done a pretty good job because he's kept himself
Yes.
relevant pretty much all season long. So
Yep, he's got a team that can be do or die. He's got a team that can
What a
win.
solid job he's done. Totally
Mhm.
solid. Taking that team, turning
Yeah.
it right around.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, great job.
Yeah,
Torrin, for
he's
sure.
got a team that can beat anybody. So like, yeah, he's been do or die. He was kind of do or die for a while, right? Because he had a really crappy start, so he had to like, he made the changes he had to make, and then he's been winning. Like,
And then
ever
he
since.
forfeited a game.
Yeah,
Oh,
against
that's
me.
right.
Yeah,
right
against
at the
you,
beginning of the year.
Keith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. That's
So-
what was that actually that game when I took the forfeit, that's when I went, fuck, I gotta sell here now because if I lost the Torn
That's
after-
right. You'd been talking to me about you were thinking of maybe, and I'm going, are you? I don't think so. And you're going, oh, I'm thinking maybe one more year. And then he was pissed off when I told him he won the game. I had to get a hold of him. I said, Keith, I know it shows that you lost right now, but you actually won. What?
Yeah, I'm changing
No.
it on you.
I said,
Fuck you. Why am I being penalized? I'm trying to fucking lose.
That could be the difference in the championship
So-
this year, though. Who
yeah, it
knows?
could be. It could be a second cup for you, Keith.
Yep.
No,
could've been it.
well,
Yeah.
I'd rather win the fucking regular season, to be perfectly honest. I think that's the toughest one to win.
It is the toughest one
But
to win.
in
I've
this in
never-
that situation,
I've never won it here, but I've won it in the WCHP,
yeah.
but not in this league. For some reason I can't even win my fucking division. I've
Well,
never
you
won my division. I've never won my division.
You got a tough division. You got Renee going out hot, then you got Dan going out hot.
How
and
many
then-
divisions has Renee got? Like 5? And then
No,
Driscoll
no
had
way.
Driscoll.
I bet you I'm one of the leaders.
Renee's got like about 5 of them. I'm telling you, like Driscoll had one.
Dan's got a
Dan
couple.
had one or
I
2.
think he's got 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
he does.
But other than that, it'd be
All
probably
him.
yeah, probably.
Dono ever win one? No.
I don't think so. Did you get first?
Garrow
Yeah, he won
definitely
this last
did.
year.
Garrow,
Garrow,
definitely,
no,
for
no.
sure.
No.
Well, I guess we got to talk about our poor dear old co-commish, Mr. Algol with the Living Skies Capitals, just sitting there now at 500, and it's looking gloomy again.
Nah, see, it's funny. I look at his team and I like his team more now than I did before he made the trades. Like he's got 3 seconds for next year, but he's got like Wilson, which is too bad. Keith had to give him up because he was hurt all year. But Wilson's like the Pim bad boy of the league.
I kind of
He's got
think Keith
Hurdle.
got away with one. I think that was a pretty good dump, Keith.
Really?
I don't think that's a dump, Terry.
I disagree
I
too.
still
Yeah.
value Wilson as a player. He's
Me
fine
too.
categories across the board.
I do
Heck
as
yeah.
well, but
Well, in the past he was.
I
In
do
the
as
past he
well,
was.
but not as much anymore. And he's going to get injured a lot more.
If he does get if he gets injured a lot, then yeah, like he injured all year. But if he doesn't, I think that's a great pickup for Al. And he still has Kuznetsov, he's got Crosby, he's got Hurdle, he's got Troy Terry. He's got a good team
Oh yeah.
for next year.
Well, he's 500, and he was in
Yeah.
the fight most of the year. He just dropped out.
Yeah, still has Vasilevsky. Like I think he was smart to like put the white flag and surrender and then do the trades that he did. I think that was a smart move on his fight.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I wasn't
agree.
expecting to get 2 surrenders this week.
We
why.
need to fucking pull him in a little bit though. Like fucking Al, you've been doing this for just about 10 years now. It's time that you actually fucking build a fucking contender. Like
Well, you don't wanna
just
say
be
it out
making
loud.
trades. Text your friends and say, hey, what do you think of this trade? Should I make it? Like, am I getting the right value? You know,
Keith, we're
let us
all
help
thinking
you.
it, and we all know it, but you don't say it out loud. Like, we all think and know the same thing. Like, we all agree. Now it's out there for the world to see that Al's got a,
You know,
maybe he needs like a manager or a co-manager or something.
the fucking so
I'm
smart. in so
I'm
many other
offering to
things in
be
life.
your manager, Al. Throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'll be your mentor if you want me.
If you want him, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually he actually made me chuckle a little bit when we were negotiating the trade.
He always makes people chuckle. That's Al.
Yeah.
Fun-loving guy.
Well, he drove the price up on me, the fucker, is what he did.
Well,
but
good for
that's
him.
Absolutely.
Well done, Al. Well done,
he did
Al.
actually drive the
Nicely
price
done.
up.
Hey, that looks really good.
He did not take the first offer.
Good
And
for
it was
you.
via text
Oh.
too.
Oh.
It was via text that he said, no, you need to add a little bit more. And
Ooh.
all right.
Just took him 10 years, Keith.
Hey,
Just took him
Yeah,
10
well-
years to figure that out.
yeah, you know.
Al's
But
a busy
good guy to have
guy.
in the
He's
pool. I
got
mean,
a lot of things
he
on the
keeps
go.
the money fair, right? He keeps the money honest and fair. And I
That's
think
good.
that's an important asset to the league. So
Very
he's
important.
not just a doormat for us to go beat up on every week.
Oh, that's too bad. So that this podcast turned on Al too fast.
The best part about it is that this is getting pretty deep into the podcast now. We're like well over an hour now. Maybe he probably won't go this far.
Maybe get Al. I'll text him. Just stop after an hour. We don't talk about anything else. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. You don't miss anything, Al.
It's really boring after that. Talk about nothing.
Yeah. 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 So you know, like I feel bad from the one year there where he actually took off to that amazing fucking start.
Oh,
he went
yeah.
undefeated for
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he got hit with the injuries.
Yeah.
A third of the way through the season or 2/3 of the way through the season, and it just sunk him. And that was the year that I really thought that he had a chance, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
That was the 1 year.
you know, the problem with him though too is that he's not in the losers bracket very often. Like
No.
he is, but he's never in the bottom four.
No.
So
I don't.
he's
Yeah. Has
stuck
he
in
ever
that
been?
fucking one section every time where he's
Yeah, he
never
has.
getting top end picks. Right? Sure, he's got Crosby, but do you know he got him 10th overall this year? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you didn't get him fucking 3rd overall 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I think his picks
so-
have gotten the first overall pick. It's just with other teams.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yes.
Al
Yeah.
trades his first lot.
He does.
Yep.
So do I.
Well, because he
Yeah.
wants to pay a price right away just to get the guys that he's focused on, and you know,
He was first out of the gate this
first
year.
round
wasn't
picks
he?
are valuable assets, man. Fuck, you know, like I
Wasn't
look
there.
at first round pick
Yep.
as a 5-year player, and
Yeah,
or
usually-
5-year player depending. And
Yep.
if you're going to trade that, you at least need to try to be getting anywhere, say 3 to 5 years back, whether it be 1-year players or not, right?
Yeah.
You
Be nice
know,
to
you
have
gotta kind of
multi-year. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I think sometimes that Al doesn't necessarily see it that way. Sometimes he looks at it and goes 2-1 and goes, you know what, I can fucking accept that. And he's really probably not close enough in terms of being strong enough as a team to make that kind of a trade. You know, he
Yeah.
needs to get
Get a little
he's
closer
got to
first.
build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Well, I think it's granted there's several methods, but I think there's been a lot shown in the last couple of years of how to build a team.
yeah.
And
Really.
different ways.
There are different ways, but there's one that's just really kind of sticking out. And that's like going into your rebuild, like rebuild.
Yeah.
Don't half
gotta get
ass
down
it. Don't half
gotta get
ass
down
it.
there.
If you're gonna rebuild.
Yeah.
Don't go, shouldn't I? And that's how you get caught in the middle.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Oh
Getting
well,
stuck in
so,
the middle is not good.
no.
You either want to be in the top 4 or you want to be in the bottom 4.
And
Being stuck
then-
in the middle, it just takes
and
too
then-
long.
And then Al's going to have to fight possibly like the Scurvy and the Rangers in the 5 to 8 to try and get the
And-
5th
Yeah.
overall
Yeah.
pick. You know what I mean? It's gonna be, that's not going to be a given.
Like the only time it's
It
good to be
could-
stuck
well,
in the middle is
Fuck,
like,
it could be Brewers, it could be Flying Colors, it could be fucking anybody.
Yeah.
yeah. The only time it's good to be stuck in the middle is whoever sings that song. I can't remember.
Steelers wheel.
There you go. That's the only time it's
Stuck
good
in
to
the
be
middle
stuck
with you.
Clowns to the
Clowns to the left of me.
Jokers to the
Jokers
down
to the
below. Here I am.
Or we're below you right now.
Or below me.
All right.
Maybe that's not the way you guys are seeing it. I'm seeing me on the right.
No, I see all three
To
of us
the
at the
left.
top.
You see what?
Yeah, it's all like you're in the middle. Like you're always
Oh.
there. and
Oh,
all
you
three
got
of
it
us are at the top.
extended. Oh, I guess if I brought my
Yeah.
note, I could get it like that. No,
Yeah.
I got me
So-
and I got me and Ryan sitting on top of Keith, which is usually the case.
I'm stretched across. It's me, you, then Ryan.
Hey, 2 out of 3 are champions.
2 out of 3 isn't bad. That's me though. I know that for sure.
Well,
I'm just glad I got my
maybe the-
one out of the
this
way.
is
And
your year, Ryan.
I
Is
tell
that
you,
Keith?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard for it being a kind of like a military fantasy league, and in 9 years you've got one championship. The rest are all civilian guys.
no,
Mm.
I've won one, and
Yeah, you're the
Driscoll
one.
won one. Driscoll,
No,
won
no,
one.
Dan, no. Who
Driscoll
who are the
won.
Whalers? Driscoll? Was
Yeah,
that
did he?
Driscoll?
Yeah,
He won one.
he won.
Okay, so there's 2. We got
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, I
It's
So
still
never.
not
maybe it's
great.
this year, Ryan.
Oh, don't say that shit. It's anybody's here. Stop trying to talk me up. Like I know what you're trying to do with your.
I'm
reverse
I'm
jinx.
hoping for you, Ryan. Just not against me.
I'm
Until
not-
the finals. I'll
You just
even
got a
be
lot.
happy.
You got a lot of good teams to go through. That's the problem. I think
Yes.
if we were to look back, you could almost say that this year has more options than just one team running away.
Yep. Correct.
There's the competitiveness this year is by far and away probably the best in the
Yes.
previous 9 years, 8 years,
By far.
whatever.
By
it is,
far. I'd say so.
right? You know, like in other years, we've always said runaway winner. I mean, fuck, we said Renee was the runaway winner when fucking Bo took him out in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And there's no talk like that now. Now it's
Well-
like, fuck, you know, I'm looking at the standings. If Renee loses both, and the Brewers are a win both, Renee would drop behind him or be tied with him.
I know.
Renee would drop from 2nd to 4th or 5th
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
if
It's
there was a
crazy.
sweep this week. So when you see all of that, and you go, okay, this year that's not so. There's no runaway. We all have an opportunity, and there's no upsets. There's no, you know, if you win this year, this is the pinnacle of it.
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
I keep
So,
hearing
right.
songs. He said Runaway, and then who sings Runaway? That's
Bryan
Joe
Adams.
Jett or no who? Brian Adams. No, it was so done by somebody
I
before.
feel like
that.
it's yeah. So
Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Run
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
That's Sean Cassidy.
No, it's well, he did sing that song, but it was a remake for him too. Anyway, we're off track on that. Let's talk about Dean. Let's talk about Dean. Dean's
let's
been
get through them fast, and we'll talk about the trades.
Yeah.
Dean, he's doing well. He's doing the right thing. He still has a team that's contending, but he's definitely trying for the draft picks in next year.
Yeah, I agree. He's been in no man's land forever, so
Yep.
he's just waiting out the season to try to do his best in the playoffs and make his team better.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be a menace next year.
Yes, you will.
He
Yeah.
will be a menace next year.
Yep.
He's accumulated some really good
Those prospects
and,
he got from Renee,
Yeah.
Good prospects.
a lot of them
Super
turned
good
out
prospects.
really good.
God dang, he's got good
Really good.
prospects. Yeah.
Really good.
And the way he drafts, he's just going to add to it. So it's
Yep.
You know, and you know what? Even if he's kind of sold himself out and accepted the fact that he's going to be in that bracket, I mean, you know, he's still got a team, as you just said, Ryan, that he could still, you know, put up points. And it's
Yep.
indicative of this week. You know, I'm playing him this week. I put up fucking 20 points and he's matched me.
Really?
Sorry, 19 and 18 points.
Are you
Still pretty
guys-
good.
So,
It-
so
it-
like he's still a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah. Are we back down to another 5 minutes left? Oh my
Yep,
God.
I know. That's how quick it's going. So, all right, let's talk about Sealand then. Pretty much have played like a team that's guaranteed a bottom 4 spot all year.
Yep.
I mean, they haven't,
Finally down there.
yeah, and he hasn't really tanked to do it. He's tried.
Yep.
Tried.
He
but,
got down there and
he's down there, which could make him a very strong possibility for a first overall pick.
yep, I agree.
And we've
Yep.
talked about Nick with moves like Jagger already. Maybe heads just here as much. And is just pulling back and trying to get as low seat as he possibly can.
Yep, he's doing that well.
All right. Want to talk about thoughts of the trade?
Yeah, let's
So we
see.
wrap it up in 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it quick. So we'll talk about your trade first because all the big names are in your trade. So Leon and who did you get with Leon?
Marcia So, 3-year
That's fine.
contract.
That's a good player. He's still youngish. He's like 29. That's still good. And you gave away a couple 3 Rangers, and there are probably some draft picks.
Both of
maybe
them
Chan-
31 years old.
Yeah. I think Panarin's great. I love him. He's 31 though, so I don't think in the 4 years that you'll have Draisaitl, in the 4 years that Bo will have Panarin, Draisaitl will probably outpoint him by I don't know how much, but a lot.
I would say I hurt myself a little bit for this year with this trade, but maybe not enough that I still can't win the whole thing. Would you say that's fair?
Yep.
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 I don't know.
I don't see any
I don't think
just
you're
trade your
insulting
depth.
much.
Panarin and
Trade
Tarasenko
your
are going to
depth.
light it up. They're going to light it up.
He very well can.
Hopefully.
If he's playing
Yep.
with his junior buddy,
Yeah.
why not?
And they did
You
it.
know, like
It's,
they go back and say, "Fucking, what kind of numbers would we put up if we stayed together forever?" Right?
well, and not only that, was it you I was talking to, Keith, about the Russian connection down there now? You take a look, you got Shesterkin, you got Tarasenko, you've got Panarin, you've got Kravatsov, you've got Sorokin, Romanov, and who's our other Russian? Sorokin, Romanov. Oh, maybe that's
You
it.
talking about the Islanders too?
What's that?
You're talking about
Well,
the
I'm
Islanders
just
too?
saying they all live in New York and they
Yeah.
like to speak Russian and that, and they all
True.
know each other and they all hang with each other.
Yep.
And New York, whether it be the Rangers or the Islanders, may be a preferred destination for Russians for a little bit here. It's
So
almost
maybe
like,
Tarasenko.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe Tarasenko stays there.
yeah. I could see him signing for less to stay there.
That's possible.
Possible.
I don't think we're getting through the trades in 2 minutes though.
No, probably not, but we can try. Well, how about the Mustangs and the Capitals?
Good trade. I like Wilson. I like Wilson. Always like Wilson, Bruiser, and I like what Keith got back with.
So basically,
Bernsey and
Burns, Talbot, and D'Angelo for
Yep.
Timmins, Wood, Wilson, and a 2nd-round pick.
yeah, Talbot frees him up to dangle out. I'll mark out there and try to get a first from Renee, like we figured out, like he's trying to do. And I think it's a good trade. I think that's a good trade for both.
I agree. What was our third trade? I can't even remember. I don't have it here.
I traded her.
Brock Nelson and Petrangelo.
Yeah, for Hurdle and a pick and Kaliev. I really do like
Kaliev.
Kaliev, Arthur. Like
Kaliev,
he's a
Kaliev.
sniper. I like him. I didn't want to get rid of him, but the reason I did the
That's-
trade in a minute was because like Hurdle, once Carlson goes and once Timo goes, and I don't know who the fuck who's going to score with him. I don't know who's going to get points with
Right.
Hurdle, right? So and he's already minus whatever. So I'm like, I love him, but I can't. He's not good this year for me.
Yeah, makes sense. And then Alex Ovechkin going over to the Brewers. Donna making a late run for a goal score.
Yeah.
Should be good for
I
Donna.
think
That
it-
was what did
Dan
we get?
goes for
Wyatt
his
Johnson
rebuild.
and what did
Johnson, Wyatt Johnson, and a
Fourth.
round, and he gave up a 7th.
Yep. I like Wyatt.
Yeah. So
I
it's
like
pretty good.
Johnson. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we would have liked to went into. We probably could have talked longer, but Ryan's time zone's way out. So I'm just gonna say for now, you guys take care and peace out.